Well, hello there, friends, and welcome to Virtual Show, the only late night VR talk show that I know of.
Hmm.
I'm your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend Roots. Roots, how you doing tonight, man? It's late and it's been a long day here. What about you?
Yeah, it's pretty late. It's kind of been a long. I have roommate drama like I always do, man. I just want to live by myself. That's how I feel. I
Man, I
just-
could only imagine. It's periodical throughout the time that I've known you. Every 6 to 8 months, it's time for Roots' roommate problems.
yeah, it's getting old. I really think I'm gonna try to find some place by myself, somewhere off in the woods, away from everybody would be nice. But I don't know if I'll be able to find that anymore. But yeah, definitely, enjoying my VR time to get away from some of the drama.
So you heard it here first. This is the first step in Roots' journey into the proverbial shack in the woods where he writes his manifesto before he starts dropping later bombs on people.
Yeah, no, I'm going to just disappear off grid. You guys would be like, oh, what the hell? I'll come on once a week via satellite. No, I'm just kidding. Although as society gets weird, it does look nicer farther away from the city. Just I don't mind the commute.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to be a bit secluded.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing about living here in Kentucky. It's like you're not too far from civilization, so you can go do things if you need to or want to, but you're not, in the metropolis and have people right on top of you either. It's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, dude, I watched this video. No, I don't even get into it, man. There's some crazy people out there, bro, and they are stressing. They just need to get Quest 2s and just relax, enjoy some VR, right? That would just kind of get it out of their system, I think.
Yeah, well, we're getting them one at a time, man. I mean, like, I don't know if you've seen the numbers on Quest 2, but it's just unprecedented what this device is doing, not only in the VR landscape as a whole, but like PCVR, it's changing the landscape on Steam VR significantly in only what 4 months on the market. It's insane.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. But I don't think people quite comprehend what's happening exactly yet, but it'll be pretty obvious soon. And I mean, I'm just running into people all the time that I would never think had one, and they've got one, or at least it's on their radar now. So
Yeah, gamers and non-gamers alike. It's incredible.
yeah, Mash Daddy says Scion needs a Quest 2. I agree. Scion needs a Quest 2, and he will geek out, enjoy it.
At this point, I hope he never gets one,
Yeah,
just because.
no, you know what would be the best is he like finally decides he's gonna get one, and that's when the drought comes, and he's like, I gotta get one. Then I'll sell it to him for like 1,000. No, just kidding.
Right. No, man, what makes it such an appealing product to the general masses is the affordability factor, and it's kind of an affordability revolution in VR right now, and especially, I mean, not only in like hardware, uh, but as I look down the game of the month list for all of the many titles that we have listed here, quite a few of them are underpriced, in my opinion, which is kind of nuts when you consider how good some of these titles are. And then, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but the Humble Spring into VR bundle uh, just got posted on the Humble Bundle store. And as usual, as it usually is the case with Humble Bundle, they've got an awesome deal going on here where you can spend up to $15 and get up to 8 awesome VR games, and it's just as good a deal as the last bundle they did, which was nuts.
Yeah, dude. Actually, it's not just Humble Bundle, bro. Like it's everything. Like I'm seeing so many sales on so many different websites right now. And you know what I'm realizing, Wes? I have too many games. Because as I
Yeah,
look down the list, I'm like, I've already got all these games, most of them anyway. That's a good problem to have, but I want to buy some games cheap, Wes. Where do I go?
Well, what you do is you buy them anyway, and you just stash them away in the Virtual
Ooh,
Strangers key vault. And that's what I did today. I bought one of these bundles because you get, listen to this, dude, you get detached. You can get detached by itself for $1.
have you tried that
Like
game? It's actually
I
pretty
have
cool.
not. I have not, but people say it's pretty cool. I mean, it's not going to win or it didn't win game of the year rather. But if you want that feeling of zero G's floating through the infinite void of space, Detached is a pretty good title.
It's $1, bro.
A
You know,
dollar,
I mean, come on.
$1.
Yeah, you can't beat that, right?
But $15 gets you 8 titles, which include Job Simulator, Aspire One, Bridge Crew, Sirento, and here's the kicker, Roots. Borderlands 2 VR. You can get Borderlands 2 VR for $15. If that was the deal alone, that's crazy. And now you've got all of these other 7 other games that you get with it. It's nuts. So yeah, I picked up one of these bundles to add to our key vault for our giveaways, and I might get another one just to cherry pick because there are a few on here that I don't have.
Oh, which one do you not have? You got to have Bridge Crew, right?
I don't have Bridge Crew.
What? Dude, we need to get you in there, bro. We need to get you on the ship, on the bridge as a crew member. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
well, I
like it.
mean, it doesn't really seem like my sort of thing, but I'd be willing to try it. Especially at this price. I
You,
mean,
you could get the
you
wife
know,
in there, bro. Then it would
oh,
be
she'd
real.
be all about it. She don't. She's like you. As long as it's like multiplayer, she's down.
Yeah. You know who else is down if there's a lot of people?
My
Yeah,
mom!
Oh yeah, she's
dude.
she sure is, right?
Anyway, yeah, the way I look at this thing, this bundle is, you're buying Borderlands 2 VR at the cheapest price I've ever seen it, and then getting 7 great games for free with it. So
Yeah, dude, that's a good deal, man. I mean, Borderlands 2 is definitely worth $15 alone. If you don't have that for sure, I need to pick up one of these exactly for what you said. I thought about that. I thought about maybe I need to put a couple keys away for a rainy day, right?
well, here's the thing, man. Our giveaway from this past Sunday's show just got a whole lot more interesting, right? Because it's open ended. I didn't place a qualifier on the prize. I said I'm going to pick winners in order, and you get your choice
Ooh,
from our entire lot of keys.
well,
So like, uh, you know, if somebody needs Borderlands 2 and don't want to go spend the $15 to go get it, all they'll have to do is pick it. And here's the crazy thing, Roots. Now I know it's going to take a few days for it to trickle down to the audio users. It's not that weird that I haven't gotten any entries from that side of the equation yet. But I've only got one entry from the comments on Sunday's video. And I said I'd pick up the 3 winners, and right now the sole commenter is going to win by default if you guys don't get in there and enter. So if you want to win one of these games, and again, we've got a lot of cool stuff: Gadgeteers, Saints and Sinners, Hellblade, a lot of good games in there. And now we got Borderlands 2 and all these
hmm.
games I just read off. Swords of Gora just got added in there. Um, if you're interested in one of these keys, man, get on our last video, the Virtual Strangers 100th episode. Just leave a comment saying I want to enter the second chance giveaway, and you're likely to win at this point.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised there's not more entries, but I'm not surprised on the radio end because I will be posting that after the show. But and then you'll start getting those flooded. Maybe we'll just have to pick more people from the radio show. You know, I mean, we got so many keys to give away. We only have one person, then that means there'd be more for the audio people. So
Yeah, I thought about maybe doing that, or maybe just if commenters don't want to join. Maybe we'll just our friends in chat never seem to turn down the games. We may just give some more away to chat next week.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, Onikaze coming in with style. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, friends? Yeah, it looks like we have quite a few friends in chat. Eric Mash Daddy showing up as usual, as is Tiffany. Hello, hello. Scion showing up to see what's going to be the PlayStation VR and Oculus Quest games of the month.
I bet.
VR Spry Guy. Acid 3 times. Said woof on that bundle. That's a great deal. Yeah, man. It's crazy. Humble always brings it, man.
Yeah.
And the great thing about it is you're not only getting a steal on these games, but you're supporting charity when you buy from Humble Bundle as well. So that's pretty awesome. Um, looks like Radio Runt is in the chat. Hello, sir. And yeah, virtual strangers. Wifey's in the house. Hello, wife. Uh, yeah, Diz. You know, I'm mentioning that nobody's entering the second chance giveaway.
Mhm.
I don't think anybody's even like shouted me out on Discord to claim their prizes from the chat last week. Like, didn't Diz win one last week? Didn't he win
Um,
like powder? I'm
Somebody
thinking he
won.
did.
Some couple people won. I know Mash won something and turned it down. I think. What's weird is I was thinking that they would have done that immediately because usually you get bombarded. So I felt.
Maybe I missed it because that was Easter and I didn't really check my Discord until the next day because like I left immediately from the show and had family stuff to do, and when I got back from that I just crashed. So maybe they did. I'll double check it, but yeah, we gave away a copy of Powder VR and a copy of Saints and Sinners. I think it was Saints and Sinners, um, and yeah, nobody's claimed it yet. So
And Spry Guy has a good point. There's so many charities to pick from for Humble Bundle. So you can like pick which charity you want your money to go to and actually will go to them, which is pretty cool.
yeah, that is cool. It's not just a specific charity; it's your specific charity if you want it to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gamer chick asking Scion, does he own any consoles? I think Scion used to have a PlayStation at one point,
I think
or
he
maybe
said
I'm
he's
mistaken about that.
anti-console now. He's like, you just,
Yeah,
you just,
he's a converted member of the master race.
he's right typing right now. You're dead to me, gamer chick.
Yeah, are you a console gamer or a PC gamer, Roots?
Me, I'm PC gamer, but I mean, I enjoy the console. I enjoyed my console just for what it is. My biggest gripe with the console got solved with this generation. I don't like 30 frames per second. You know, I played Destiny 2 and I went from 60 on PC to 30 and I played 30 for like a year and then I went to PC and I tried to go back to my character on the console and I was hosed, bro. I couldn't do it because your eyes can see the difference. But now that 60 is the standard for the new consoles, I wouldn't have any issue with playing any game on a console.
Yeah, so Roots is a PC gamer. Do you know what I am, Roots?
A gamer, no.
I'm a gamer. I don't choose sides, man.
Hmm.
I take up for whoever's being uh you know
No.
I take up for the little guy. So if there's a bunch of console guys talking crap on the master race, I'll remind them that they're even the newer consoles are technically inferior in most ways, and then as the master race who generally tends to make everything into a competition, I'll take the sides of the console. But I'm a VR gamer, man, first and foremost, and I love my PC, I love my console, I love my standalone VR. I can't imagine not having any one of those. So yeah, I'm a VR gamer.
Yeah, GC's gamer chick says that she's seen a chink in his armor, Scion's armor. But yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I mean, I just lean more towards PC because it can do so many things. But I would never not play something because it's on a different platform. I just want to play a good game. And I've been blown. This is the God's honest truth, Wes. I've been blown away by more gameplay in Quest games in the last month than I have in almost most of the PCVR games. Like the actual gameplay, the way it feels, how much fun I'm having in it. And isn't that what it's all about? We're all about fun, you know? And I feel like we're making that turn around the corner. We had to deal with all the tech demo shit for so long. We got in there, we looked at our hands and we said, "Oh, this looks cool. Oh, there goes a tornado," you know? But now we actually have amazing gameplay and I'm optimistic for where VR is headed, unlike
I,
some people.
I completely agree. The game developers are getting better at developing for VR, and even the first time VR developers are putting out better products now because the game engines themselves are more well optimized for VR now. I mean, uh, Unreal and Unity have been implementing it for the longest times, but like now we even have like Ubisoft with their proprietary
Mm.
engine now is optimized for VR, which means that a lot more of these flat games that they're putting out could support VR going forward, which is a big deal. Um,
Or mods.
but not,
People will be able to mod the game in there, take that engine and put it out. And, it's going to make it easier for all the modders as well.
yeah, absolutely. And not only are the developers getting better at making these games, but the hardware gap is through optimization is lessening. So, like these games that are optimized and enhanced for Oculus Quest 2, uh, they're closing the gap with the PC. Now, obviously, I don't mean with the top of the line PC stuff like Half Life Alex and Asgard's Wrath, but your common weekly PC releases aren't that far above your Oculus Quest 2 releases. The gap is minimal, generally down to some lighting and particle effects normally being the only difference, which that stuff is cool. It's nice to have. And if you're like me and you have access to both, you're going to go for that PC version, unless, there's some friction involved with getting in there and playing it, which sometimes there is. And again, that's another big plus with the Oculus Quest. You just put it on and you play.
Yeah, that and hand tracking. And from what Radio Runt says, that hand tracking thing, what's the name of it?
Yeah, Hand Physics Lab.
He says it's amazing. He says definitely worth checking out. Definitely worth
Yeah,
$10 price of
yeah,
admission.
we kind of we talked about that developer that was behind the Ham Physics Lab on Sunday's show, and I was talking about how our friend Jay at Stone Punk Studios was raving about this guy, having worked with them on some projects recently. I didn't realize until today that the guy behind the Hand Physics Lab is our friend Dennis from Holonautic. He's the guy that what was the name of the little stick figure game we played last
Oh,
year?
Holoception.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
he's the guy behind that. A friend of the channel, actually, and
Hmm.
I had no idea that he was working with Jay and that he was behind this game as well. It's a small world in the VR development community, apparently.
That's crazy. Dave Station throwing a super chat. He's super psyched that we got to 1,000. And Ray Pope says he doesn't get to catch a live show all that often with his new job, and he's glad to be here. So we're glad to
Glad to
have you
have
here.
you, sir. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thanks for the support, Ray, and thank you, Dave. Man, uh, without parole on fire this week, man, and uh, I don't know if you guys caught it. We plugged it on the last show. They had this 3-day event covering upcoming PlayStation VR releases. Incredible. Uh, I mean, any one of the 3 days is been more than what State of Play has given us over the last year. New game reveals, developer interviews. I would say that at least half of our show this upcoming Sunday is going to be news that was broken by Without Parole this week. They've leveled up in a big way, and they've become pretty much the media source now for PlayStation VR going forward.
I
So
thought they already were, dude, but that's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Dave Station, I'm so happy to hear about all of that channel success and whatever. They're the best on PlayStation VR, period, for sure. And the tip train is coming through for sure. Gamer Chick jumping on the tip train there.
Tip train still rolling from Sunday, man. Choo choo. Still
Yeah,
going, man.
yeah,
These
let's go.
people, you guys are amazing. Thank you, Tiffany. We
Yeah,
really appreciate
you
it.
guys are awesome for sure.
Traveling Man says I got Guardians off App Lab today. Use promo code Mobile25 to get 25% off using my phone to make the purchase. So yeah, I don't know who originally posted this. It came through my Twitter feed, shared by Cass and Carrie or Sherry. Uh, if you use the code mobile25, you can get 25% off an Oculus Quest game, but you must use your mobile app to buy the game. And I'm just scrolling through there, Roots, trying to decide which one I want to get. It's a one-time use only um,
The only one
thing.
I'm interested in probably would be Zombieland, but you're working on getting a key, so why would I spend my money on it? You know?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Did you say Arizona Sunshine? I
No,
didn't hear you.
Zombieland.
Zombieland. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think that it's likely that we could get a key. I haven't asked for one yet.
Oh yeah,
But again,
I heard we know somebody that's in the loop there.
yeah, yeah. We know a guy. We're pretty good friends with the community manager over there. So I don't know. He he put it out on Twitter today that he's getting ready to put together a community event behind that game. So maybe something we might want to try to participate in.
Oh hell yeah, dude! If I hadn't thought that we were maybe going to get a key, I would have bought Zombieland yesterday for 25% off. It's a good deal,
Yeah.
25%.
Diz said that he bought Crashland. Now, dude, you couldn't have picked a better game. I went back into Crashland um, yesterday, or I think it was, because on our Discord, Shark, I think it was talking a little smack to me and you both
Mm-hmm.
about coming for our leaderboard scores, and
That's all it
I
took.
got on there, and sure enough, I don't know if it was him because it didn't say Shark. It had another name, but sure enough, somebody had overtaken all of my scores but one, which is that level 2 or level 3, the one that's really high up there. He didn't quite get me on that one, but I had to take all my scores back, Roots. It took me about an hour to get them all back.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad. Well, it's about an hour. That's it, huh? Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
What was it? Onikazi's got a good question. Or actually, I guess he popped a question in my head. He said he's going to pick up to the top, the App Lab version. I assume that coupon works for App Lab stuff too, right? I mean, I don't see why not.
Absolutely, it does. And I just picked up to the top last week
Oh, nice.
on App Lab, and we're gonna do some video content on it here on the channel. But spoiler alert, it's amazing. It's still one of the best games in VR, and it plays great on Oculus Quest.
Yeah, I went in a little bit. And Radio Runt says he just used his code to pick to the top up. That's cool.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. And the cool thing about it is now that they're on App Lab as opposed to Side Quest,
Multiplayer.
multiplayer works. So yeah,
Yeah.
so we can get in there together and play. Um, and again, I went into it the other day and had a blast. Didn't play it for very long. Just wanted to check it out and see how it runs and how it looks. And it's still the great game that we remember it being.
Yeah, did you put it on 90 hertz? I thought there was an option for turning it to 90 hertz, if I remember correctly.
I don't know. I rarely look at that stuff. Honestly, I just play it at whatever it defaults to. I'm of the mindset that if it runs best at 90 hertz, then the developer will default it at 90 hertz.
Yeah, true.
Sion says you guys talking games you played, or is it game of the month only?
Both.
What's he?
He wants to know, are we
I don't
doing
know.
game of the month only, or are we talking about games we're played? We're talking about two games we've played, and then we're gonna roll on into the game of the month.
Yeah, and I guess we need to go ahead and kick it off because we got a lot of games to talk about in this specific episode. But yes, we're going to talk about Floor Plan 2. We're going to talk about the Synth Riders Adrenaline DLC pack, which launched last week or the week before. And then we're going to kick in the game of the month for each platform, as we always do. And as usual, we're going to need some help
For
this
real.
month. Especially when it comes to like PCVR. I think no, Oculus Quest is a probably a bigger problem than even PCVR.
My
So we're
problem
gonna need
is
some help.
my problem is there's games in there that are reported to be really good that I've never tried, and so that presents a problem for me because I don't know how good it is.
Yeah, there's multiples this month in both categories that we haven't played. Just too many good releases out this month. I mean, we've got 6 entries in both of those categories. I don't think we've ever had that before.
No, no, especially, and there was only one from the first one, so
Yeah, the default winner.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a banger too, though.
yeah, it's true, very true.
Anyway, let's get into it. Let's give our first impressions of a couple of these games so we can get started on that discussion. Floor Plan 2, the sequel that just dropped from out of nowhere. We first learned about this about 3 or 4 weeks ago. They revealed that the sequel to Floor Plan was coming. This comes to us, of course, from Turbo Button, and I would like to go ahead and thank them for providing Roots and I both with review access to this game. Uh, but this is a sequel to a game that Roots and I both, I think that we both played this. We bought the original version way back when in 2017, I think it came out. Um, it's a puzzle game where you're confined to an elevator. Uh, you unlock different floors of the building that you could visit as you progress through the game. But the whole hook is each floor is kind of like a whole different dimension from the other floors. And the way you solve puzzles is by taking a multi floor approach. So things from this floor will affect things on the other floor, which affects things on this other floor, and so on and so forth. You have to kind of see the big picture, even though each level is completely unique from the others. So basically, uh, it was a clever idea for a puzzle game. Really, the only issue with the original was it was short. You were confined to the elevator. You never got off the elevator. You just kind of stayed stationary and manipulated things, and you could beat that thing in about 60 to 90 minutes. Uh, well, when it comes to the sequel, we pretty much got what we would have wanted, or at least in my opinion, from a sequel. It's a proper expansion. So now, not only are there more floors, but you can leave the elevator, which not only allows you to explore these different dimensions, uh, you know, much more up close, but it allows it allows for more complex puzzling and for a longer overall game experience. Would you say that's accurate, my friend?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was really good. So far of what I've played. Dave Station actually has a question. Wants to know if this is more of a contemporary VR game opposed to. You could tell that the first one seemed more of like a mobile port, and this absolutely was more of that nature. I mean, just the inventory or the inventory pouch was pretty cool, right? You grab it and you stretch it out, and it makes it huge, and you can just stick whatever you want in there. And you're grabbing everything. I Everything about the so far that I've played has really impressed me. Even the beginning area, I really enjoyed the comedy and these people swooping in. I'm like trying to help them fix their problems, right? And people have some really weird problems out there, Wes. I never would have thought, that you just need to take your glasses off. No, there's so much, man. It's good.
Yeah, Dave. To answer your question, I would call this game a tweener. Like it's not full on modern VR. It's still you can still tell that it has one foot in those mobile routes because even though you are getting off of the elevator and exploring these levels, it's node based teleportation. It's not free locomotion. Um, it plays kind of like Vacation Simulator,
Hmm.
to be quite honest. If I had to compare it to something, I'd compare it to that. Only, it's much more puzzle oriented than Vacation Simulator is. But I would say that it's very similar to Vacation Simulator. Only I think the story's a bit more charming. There's that word again, Roots.
Mm.
And
Hmm.
the I like the gameplay better overall because it's more puzzle based. Uh, and while some of the puzzles are easy, not all of them. There were a few of them that stopped me in my tracks for a few minutes.
Yeah, there's some ones that actually made you kind of think for a bit there, right? Now, one thing I don't know that I'm 100% happy with as many thumbs ups that are in this thing. Because that's how you move on, right? It's
Yeah,
constant thumb
yeah.
up, thumb up, thumb up. But other than that, and that's such a small thing. I just thought that this, like I said, I really enjoyed this beginning part because um it's just different, man. I didn't expect what I got out of this game. And I like your comparison to a vacation simulator. And we were talking about this before the show about people always saying questable graphics and stuff, but no one talks about vacation simulator. They, from the PC days, and they would rave about it. I think this is looks even better, and the gameplay is so much better. And I don't know. I like the puzzles. Did you find any of those little creature guys?
Not many, three or four of them. There was a lot more that I didn't find than I did find. And what Roots is talking about, there are these little furry creature things that there are hidden throughout the entire game, and you just collect them and take them back to the elevator, and they go through this little vacuum tube thing back into their daycare from which they escaped. And by doing so, you unlock new sets of hands for yourself. And I only unlocked one set. They were ass hands. They literally had asses on the back of the hands, and when you squeezed them, they went, which was amusing for about half a second. But then I had to take them off because it was constant. So yeah, um, and what Roots is talking about is absolutely true. The characters talk to you in this foreign language, so you have to kind of read everything, kind of like Journey for the God style, where it's just kind of da 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 da, and words pop up on the screen. And the way that you move on to the next set of dialogue is by giving a thumbs up. So you're constantly giving thumbs up. Sometimes you have a choice of thumbs up or thumbs down, but that's how you communicate with these characters. The game, I think, looks pretty good. It is a bit simplistic in terms of art style, but it's super crisp inside the headset, and has great 3D depth. And I like the character models as they remind me of Muppets. Don't they look like Muppets?
They do, yeah. I think the character models look really good, yeah. So and everybody's weird, man. There's a lot of weird people in this place, bro. Like I don't understand.
Did you give up the dude to the cop? The cop come and started questioning me about it, and I didn't want to be a narc. So like literally, I tried for like 5, 6, 7 minutes to not give this dude up to the police. But eventually, the game won't let you progress unless you
In
give the cop what he wants.
this area,
Yeah.
I never got to that part, man. I must have sent him out soon enough because I did his thing and the guy took off out there and then the cop I think arrested him or something. I don't know, remember what happened, but he never came in and none of that happened. So there must
Oh,
be
really?
different, yeah,
Wow.
there must be different paths you can take to some extent, right?
Well, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, this is this part we're looking at here. This is the tutorial, and I really like how they did the tutorial because it doesn't feel like a tutorial. It feels like you're playing the game,
Mm.
but it's they kind of put you in this job scenario to show you how the puzzles work without telling you that they're teaching you how the puzzles work. So they give you some real basic stuff to see if you can kind of catch the logic behind their puzzling, and you'll help out these different customers as they come up to you. Each customer leaving an item behind, but that item is used to solve the problem of the next customer, which is the core mechanic of the gameplay.
Yeah, that guy was ready for his puzzle too. Yeah, I've never gotten puzzle pieces stuck in my butter though, Wes. I just don't know that that's a an accurate thing that happens to people. I guess it happens to these people.
It sounds to me like you've been playing a little too safe with your butter, friend.
Yeah, that's right. You know who likes to go easy and flow easy with the butter?
My
I
mom!
do.
Yeah,
She loves her some butter, man.
yeah, who doesn't, right?
Uh, you mentioned the inventory system, and that was probably one of my favorite things about this game. I don't know if I've ever seen a cooler inventory system than this. Uh, I would have liked for it to have more slots. It only held three things, but it was cool because you have this fanny pack on, and you literally just grab it and stretch it out, and it can be like huge if you really pull on it. And you literally just, it was so easy to use just to grab items, pull that thing open, and throw them down in there, and just let it go, and snaps back because it's very elastic. I thought that was really cool and one of my favorite parts of the game actually.
Yes, I don't know. I don't remember this part. I remember the cop coming in, but I don't remember that picture, bro. That's so weird. Did he do something different?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't either, man. That's weird. That's bizarre to me.
It may change if you handle the criminal differently than what me and this person did.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true.
So maybe that's what the deal is. Um, but no, man, I really enjoyed my time in this. It really expands upon everything you like about the original floor plan. So I would say if you've played that game and you like it, you're gonna really like this one much more. It's it's much more of a game than the other one. The other one was. The other one was borderline game. Dave said it best. You could tell it was a mobile game, where this seems like a proper VR game, and something that you uh, can go back to. The original floor plan. Once you're done with it, you're done with it. I mean, there's no going back into it. Once the puzzles are solved, there's no reason to spend any more time in it. Where with this one, you do have those little creatures to search out, so you can go back in for what they call overtime, and and further explore these uh, these levels to try to unlock, I guess, more sets of hands. Maybe it's something else, but so far, really, all they've given is alternate hands.
Well, and those creatures, man, like they're puzzles too, right? I mean, I've seen one in one area I can't get, and I don't know how to get to it, but I know there's got to be something I got to do to do it to get to it, right? So, just another set of puzzles to get through. So that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Great accessibility options in this game. It's set up as node-based teleport, but there is some small amount of room scale that they expect of you here. You travel from node to node, but not everything is immediately within your reach. You do have to move around a little bit, but if that's a problem for you, if you don't have any room, or if you're like me and you didn't expect it and really hadn't set up for that, there's an option in the menu which allows you to kind of just pull things in a little bit. I mean, and it puts everything much more within reach for you, so you don't have to move around so much, which I really appreciated. Um,
I would imagine if you
there's
played it on the Quest 2 also, you could set it on that one mode that's like just the circle around you for your guardian, and that I would think would trigger a smaller set place maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it would make it default into that mode or not. It's there. It's there in the options. So I really appreciated that because again, I didn't set up for it. I assumed that this was going to be something I could play seated. Pulled a chair in the middle of all my junk and started to play, and then quickly realized I had to get up and move around a little bit, which was a problem until I found that setting.
Mm.
I appreciated that there is turning options, even though they're defaulted to off. If you go to the menu, you can turn on snap or smooth turning,
Oh,
uh, which was which was comfortable. You can turn the speed up and make it so that it's you know quick enough. Smooth turning is ideal, but sometimes smooth turning isn't fast enough, and you have to go with snap turn because of that. Not the case here. The smooth turning was appropriately fast if you turn it up. Um, Really, my only thing I'm wondering about this, Roots, I read the Upload VR review of it, and they really enjoyed it as well. They think that it's a great game too. Um, but they mentioned that there was some means for you to grab things from a distance. I was never able to do that. I always had to physically
mm,
move to where the items are and pick them up. Were you able to pick things up with like maybe a magnet hands or stretchy arms or something to this
mm.
effect?
I would love to have some stretchy arms, but no, I had to physically grab everything. And see, I had cheated Wes. I've actually, well, not really cheated, but I had heard from people that it was somewhere I read it that you should do have a bigger space for to be able to walk around. So I kind of made sure everything was ready for that, and I didn't have that issue. But it's kind of cool that you did the way you did because it I would have never thought to go in the settings and try to turn snap turn. I just assumed it was this is just not that kind of game. It's cool that they added the options.
Yeah, yeah, there are turn options. There are no graphics options, although I didn't feel like I really needed any. Again, not the most detailed from that perspective. It's very cartoony, very job sim, vacation sim like, but it works for what this game is. It works. Um, yeah, I enjoyed it. I think we're pretty much on the same page here with this one, right?
Yeah, yeah. Now, do you know how long this game is? Is it it's several hours, right? Or have they
3 to
said?
4 from what I hear.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it. My only thing, and it's just, man, $24 is, why does that seem so expensive to me, man? That's not even that much money, but it just seems like a lot. Um, but,
Well, the reason why is because of what we talked about leading into the show. I mean, I read off a bundle of 8 great VR games for $15. I
yeah,
mean,
that's true.
uh, when we go down, when we get to game of the month, you're gonna see that there were a laundry list of great games that released this month for $15 and $20. That's the reason why 25 seems like so much. It's not that it's actually a lot of money for a game. It's not. It's just that there are so many great deals on VR games. It makes $25 seem like a lot. And I'm with you. Really, the only issue with this game is the pricing on it. It is $25 for a 3 to 4 hour game, but it is a good game. So I don't hate it. Um, if I had to price it, I would say that it, it's a good $20 game in my opinion. This is a $20 VR game, but I ain't mad at it. If somebody likes this sort of game, if this is your kind of jam, uh, $25. It's not a robbery by any stretch of the imagination, especially when you consider that it is cross-buy enabled. So you're getting both copies of the game. You're getting a PC copy and a standalone copy. When you think of it in those terms, it's actually not all that bad of a price.
Now, what do you think your kids are gonna think about it? They probably have they tried it? Yeah.
No, I mean, I had my youngest sat in here and watched me played, and threw hints out the whole time while I was playing it. So we kind of played it together. But the other two are excited to play it. They didn't want to spoil it. They stayed out because they all beat floor plan. Like everybody beat floor plan back in the day. I had it on PlayStation VR, and everybody loved it.
Yeah, I had to change the video here, man. That guy was spoiling all this everything, man. He was flying through this game like it's nothing. I actually saw something that I didn't know, and I was like, "Damn it!"
Yeah, you got to be careful about that. And I bet that if that guy was flying through it that quickly, he's probably cheated. He before he recorded his video, he got the answers.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. He had a lot of views. It's weird,
You know
man.
what?
When you go to a video that's got like 11,000 views, but there's like 100 subscribers. I'm like, man, people are harsh, bro. I'm gonna watch your video. I ain't subbing for crap, bro. Screw you. I felt bad for him, Wes.
Yeah, something like about that just doesn't add up, does it?
No, yeah, maybe that is the deal. I almost subscribed, but I didn't. So
Yeah, me neither.
yeah.
I wonder if he had two thumbs down.
Wow, that's very possible. Yeah, everybody loves to thumb stuff down, right?
Mepper in the chat says, "What's the consensus? Should I try to get a PS5 this week?" Mepper, you should try to get a PS5 every week until you're able to get it. It's not going to be something that I mean, hopefully it is something that just happens for you, but that's something you really got to work at to land something like that. And I would say yes, just based on the uh, idea that you're not going to want to have to buy it uh, at the same time that you're getting the VR headset next year,
Mm.
right? You want to break up that expense, and in the meantime, The it plays all of the Gen 1 PSVR stuff, and some amazing flat games are coming for it as well. I mean, that new Oddworld game, Roots, just launched yesterday.
Oh,
Um, and it launched right into PlayStation Plus for free. Anybody who has PlayStation 5 now owns the PS5 version of that game. No cost. Brand new Oddworld game
nice.
included with your subscription. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely a good subscription to have. I would say, and my advice would be, and this is going to be pretty much standard for most stuff these days, man. Get it now. I mean, while you can't even probably can't even barely get it. You're going to try to get it. If you can get it, because I don't think it's going to get any easier to get in the near future. It's going to be actually
Yeah,
harder.
man.
So
Yeah, get yourself a PlayStation 5, get yourself a GameFly subscription, and try out some flat games. I just bought Miles Morales Roots for like the Spider-Man Miles Morales for like $18 from GameFly.
damn,
And yeah, you accrue the longer that you're subscribed to GameFly, you accrue credit and discounts that you can use. And once every 6 months or so, I'll spend it on a game, and I just decided to keep that Miles Morales game. And after all the discounts and credits, it was like $18.
it's a pretty good game.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's amazing to if you've got it on a proper uh 4K panel in with the HDR enabled, and you've got it in quality mode. It's crazy. It's like watching a movie. It's the next gen games are legit, man.
That's crazy. That's cool.
Yeah, and I should have Demon Souls on the way, so we're gonna looking forward to checking that one out.
Nice. Well, something tells me that's gonna have more gameplay than what was that one game you said that you enjoyed, but it was very shallow. I can't remember what it was.
Blam Crotch. We were just playing Soulstorm on the PS5 a few minutes ago. Yeah, I've got it installed. I haven't checked it out yet, but it looks great.
Yeah.
You know what it looks like, Roots? It looks like something that would look awesome in Vorpex,
Oh,
like
really?
with the immersive screen. Yeah, it's a side scroller platforming game with like next gen graphics, and I think on the immersive screen in Vorpex it would be stunning.
It's PlayStation exclusive.
No, man, you can
No.
get it on Epic Game Store.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can get it on Epic Game Store right now. I don't know how much it costs. Probably a little bit since it's just launched, but yeah, I would expect probably to see a Vorpex video coming from PD sometime this week on it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. He's becoming the Vorpex king, bro.
Yeah, he is Cirillo.
Yeah. Yeah. Really.
Anyway, Floor Plan 2, I recommend for me if you like this type of games. It's a little on the pricey side. You might want to wait for a sale, but again, it is cross buy, so I'm not mad at it being $25.
Yeah. Definitely good.
All right, then we're going to move on to Synth Riders. This is a game that we covered not long ago on the channel, and in my opinion, this was a fun rhythm game. I really uh, enjoyed the music in this game, Roots, more than anything. But like most rhythm games, it still didn't have the kind of music that I listen to in my regular life. Like I appreciated that this game had actual artists that I'd heard of and real music that you would hear on the radio or YouTube or whatever, Spotify or whatever you listen to music on these days. Um, Still though, it never had any music that I liked. And none of these rhythm games do until now. The Synth Riders this past week launched the Adrenaline DLC pack, which is full of rock and punk songs from groups like Rancid, The Offspring, Bad Religion, and Pennywise. And Roots, this was stuff that I used to listen to when I was in high school and college. Songs that I know for the first time ever in a rhythm game, and that was it was a different experience for me. We'll just say that.
Did you do the experience in the adrenaline pack?
Yeah, they had an experience for the for
Offspring.
those of you who don't for those of you who don't know, Synth Riders, of course, they have their rhythm gameplay that you can play any of the tracks in their extensive catalog. But occasionally, you'll come across these things called experiences, and what happens in these is you still play the game, but it's not scored. There's no leaderboard. There's no score. You just play it for the fun of playing it, and generally they'll kick up audio visual notch, the audio visual effects a notch. So they'll have it's almost like being inside of a music video, and they had one of these for the Offsprings come out and play. And yeah, that was the conclusion of my session. I saved that for the very last thing that I did. But I liked it, man. I liked it more than the other experience that we tried last month with the Muse track.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny you say that. I had the same thought as far as it felt like I was in a music video almost, right? Kind of made me feel like I'm still waiting for artists to start doing music videos in VR. I mean, imagine all the different things they could do if they just did it. But yeah, it was really cool. And I don't know. Was going to ask you if you've had a chance. You probably have not, but have you had a chance to go into the multiplayer yet of this?
No, I have not tried multiplayer on this yet.
Okay, because Gamer Chick keeps inviting people, and like even did a run before the show, right? I was afraid she wasn't going to make it. And so I decided to go into their thing the other night, and a couple things I noticed. One, I didn't know, Wes. I'm looking at the board, right? You're sitting there looking at the board, people are talking. If you turn around, everybody's there's a big area and everybody's kind of standing around the avatars and they're just kind of chilling in between songs or whatever. They have a really cool way to hang out while you're playing the game, right? And then you've got you're going up head to head with people, and I guess everybody's teaming up on Radio Run. He's the guy to beat in this game, Wes. But it's very unique, very different, and you can actually send like attacks at the other people. Like you build them up. I guess there's things you can grab, and it's pretty cool. My only problem with Gamer Chick's room, and if you want to keep Roots there because they'll notice I left after that first one. I'm competitive, so when they turn off so everybody can make it through the song, and then everybody's got these high scores that they didn't earn because they would have never made it through the said song. I don't like that, Wes. I wanna win. I want to be up on that list. I want to see that you didn't make it, and I got that robbed from me. But
Yeah, I gotta agree. I don't like the participation trophy tactics these days.
yeah, yeah. So that was my only gripe. I did play with some randos, and I think only three of us made it. And this was like last week or something, and so I felt accomplished because I am actually pretty good at this game. It's as simple as the things are. It once you get to the hard parts, it can get pretty crazy. So
Would you call this a rhythm game, Roots?
I would not. I don't think it didn't. See, that's the thing. Audica to me, like when and people have said this, and this is how I feel. I feel like like somebody that's orchestrating a concert, right? Like just with all the things, you feel like you're a conductor. I guess that's the name I'm looking for. Same thing with Beat Saber, right? Not so much on this, although it's different. You're moving, and I just feel like it's more about uh,
Dancing.
dancing. I think it's a dancing game. I think it's exactly what it feels like. And this guy's
It's an
punching them,
orca.
but you don't punch them,
It's a
man. Nah.
Yeah. I guess I've never really quite played it with those punching modifiers enabled. It might be more of a rhythm game if you do that. I've always just played with the base rule set, and I kind of had an epiphany today that this is not a rhythm game the way that I've been playing it. It's the entire thing is keeping your hands where they're supposed to be, and it really doesn't have anything to do with the rhythm. Although you get feedback from the rhythm, the balls are coming at you and spaced out with the beat of the song, but the actual gameplay, what you're doing, has nothing to do with the rhythm. It's all tracing what you're seeing with your eyes. And what made me realize this was uh, the prospect of me going into a rhythm game with songs that I already know by heart, if it's a true rhythm game, I should get a boost in performance from that, right? I should be a little bit better because I know the beats. Like if I go into Beat Saber and I know what the beats are, I'm going to play better because I'm going to hit them. If I go into Audica and I know the songs, I'm going to hit the shots better because I know where the beats are. With Synth Riders, while it was way cooler to play to music that I like and recognize, it didn't change how I play the game at all, or how good I was, or how well I scored. Other than I I'm more likely to replay it now because I like the music, and that'll in turn make me get better. But knowing the beats doesn't matter in this game at all. What matters is your hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. I said it's different, you know. And that's good with all the rhythm games out there. The last thing you want to be is like all the other ones. This is definitely unique. But I kind of feel like it's more of a dancing game, you know. It reminds me, Wes, I've got Dance Central in my library. I've never played it, bro. I need to I need to maybe I should stream it one time. That'd be a
I
good
think
one.
you should keep that one in the closet. But
There's people that want me to dance anyway, even with regular music. So, but yeah, I don't know. It seems like it'd be intriguing, but so I don't know anything about that game. I just bought it for $40 and it just sits in my library. So
anyway, I do feel like it's a dancing game, but I enjoy it. It has some advantages, over those other games, namely the fact that you're on a rail instead of stationary. That's probably the biggest advantage this game has over the other, uh, strictly rhythm games. I always kind of disqualify Pistol Whip from this conversation because it's so much more than just a rhythm game. But I mean, technically, Pistol Whip's the best rhythm game because of all the other stuff. But when it comes to pure rhythm music games, um, the fact that this one is on a rail, I feel, is an advantage that it has over Beat Saber and Audica. Um, I'd like to see them take a page out of Synth Riders' book in this aspect.
yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. And Delirium Drew agrees. He says it feels like a ride. Onakazi says it depends if you define rhythm game as percussion. It's definitely music based.
Yeah,
And
it's a music based game, but the gameplay is not. You could play this game with the music off and do just as well.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
Right?
And
Right? Does the music have anything to do with what you're doing? No.
well,
I mean,
maybe
I
maybe
mean,
the
if I mean, it feels good it feels like you're dancing when you're in the zone with it, but I don't feel like, uh, other than just pure motivation from the music, I don't feel like the music makes you play any better than you would with the sound turned off.
yeah, I agree. That's how I feel as well. Look at you. This is that video they come out and play, right? Some crazy stuff going on.
Delirium Drew says Beat Saber is better than Synth Riders, which is better than Pistol Whip. Dude, I totally disagree with that. I
Hmm.
would flip that.
And see,
Uh,
I I
uh,
I don't know. I maybe I might put Pistol Whip above Synth Riders, but I would put Beat Saber for me above the other two, even though I don't play any of them constantly. But as far as an actual, I mean, yeah, it's slice and blocks, but it's done so well, man. There's a reason why. Aside from the way that they marketed it, it's just blew up. One of the best games or the biggest games sale wise out there, right? I guess one of the
yeah,
biggest selling games for sure.
I need to try Beat Saber modified with music I like. I feel like, um,
It would be different as long as the tracks are done. Have you done 360 as well?
no, I haven't been into Beat Saber since they added all that stuff in.
Yeah, so 360 is definitely. I don't know, man. I think Beat Saber's got a lot more going on than it even used to. So it's definitely a good game.
But let's talk about these tracks a little bit. Obviously, the experience was pretty awesome, but outside of the come out and play experience, um, in terms of the beat maps, the tracks, whatever, uh, which one did you like the best?
I think I probably it was the other. I like the. I'm a big. I used to listen to Offspring. So what was that other Offspring one? The one.
Self-esteem.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I got to agree with that. That was my other favorite, and uh, solely in term of the beat map because it wasn't my favorite song. Like I like Bad Religion and Pennywise better than I like the Offspring, but that self-esteem beat map was exceptionally good. Like I really enjoyed the movements that I was making while I was listening to that song.
Well, see, and that's the thing. Whether it's this game, Beat Saber, Audica, or whatever, when somebody does a beat map right, I guess maybe this is going against what we said as far as rhythm, but there's got to be something. If it's done right, it's going to feel better, right? And I don't know if it was. I guess it wasn't necessarily the music. You said it was just the movements, right? Because this is one game
Well,
that is it's gonna it directs your movement like it more than any other game. Like it's controlling where you're how you're moving because you just have to move that way, right?
right, and that's what I liked about it. In with regards to the song, uh, the movements that they have you making to that specific song, I felt like it was very well done. I feel like that was the best of the pack. Was Self Esteem by the Offspring.
Let me ask you this, and I was kind of curious on this, and maybe Drew or somebody could answer this for me. Like, if I stream this game, because this is a weird thing, you buy the rights to the game, but now do you get strikes for songs? Because, like, and this is such a random thing, but like my GTA 5 playthroughs or the ones that I've posted on YouTube, man, I get a strike on it every single time because of the radio in the car. You know what I mean? In the game that I bought, that I have the rights to play. You know what I mean? But they give you a strike. It's so bizarre to me, man. I don't understand what YouTube is doing. By the way, I love you, YouTube. Don't penalize me. Um,
Yeah, I don't know, man. I did notice that there were some people that were streaming this or did videos on it otherwise, but I don't know, man. I don't know how that works. I certainly wouldn't be brave enough to do it.
yeah, it's just weird, man. I just it, this doesn't make sense to me. But if it's a game that you play and it's part of the game, especially in a game like a rhythm game, I would imagine they have to allow you to play the song. It's like such a big part of it. But
Yeah, I don't know. I would imagine that either these people are just eating the copyright claim, or uh, they're bigger YouTubers that have a contact at YouTube that adjudicate these appeals processes for them and get that stuff taken off
sure.
pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and it's just one of those things. I guess it doesn't. I mean, I know, like with mine, I've as long as it's not because they'll give you strikes, but it's not a strike. Basically, it says it's any ad revenue is going to go to these people. Um, I think it's just a way to advertise on people's channel and give it to somebody else personally. But
Right,
you know,
right. Well, I mean that's true. Um,
yeah, I guess it's not necessarily a strike. It's just more of a claim. It's a copyright claim. Strike would be more. Uh,
yeah, strikes are serious. Like
yeah,
you get a few of those and you're screwed.
yeah.
Uh, did you play the very first the Pennywise track? That was the first one that I went to, and boy did I regret that. Like I was tired at the end of that one because I didn't think, man. I should have known that Pennywise wasn't the place to start. But that song is like 1,000 miles an hour, and the beat map reflects it.
I did not actually, but you know what I'll tell you is, and that's another reason why I bowed out of that. Well, besides the fact that everybody was taking a break when we played that multiplayer, it was like I was like, holy shit, dude, that was tiring, dude. Like I guess people use this as a workout, right? I mean, it's not as much of a workout as other games, but it definitely gets you moving.
Well, if you pick a high tempo track, it'll work you out for sure. You'll
That's
get some
true.
cardio in because I mean they don't slow it down for you at all. Even if the track's fast, then the beat map's fast.
Yeah, yeah, definitely really cool.
But anyway, I got to say that this is the best music yet that I've heard in a rhythm game. I highly recommend it if you're like me and you like rock music and metal and punk. This is easily by far the best DLC that I've ever seen in the rhythm game. And again, highly recommend it. Synth Riders, fun dancing game. I wouldn't quite call it a rhythm game from a purist perspective, but it's fun nonetheless. It's not Dance Central. It's Synth Riders.
Do you think you'll ever get any of the music in any of these games that like the really hardcore metal that you've sometimes played on my stream and people are like, what the hell is this? Like the really hardcore stuff that Wes likes. Um, I don't know that they would ever put that in a game, which is kind of a shame, right?
I think if anyone does, it'll be Synth Riders. I think they get it. They're not Yaroslav Beck here making metal-ish music. They're uh, they're going out there and they're getting the tracks from the artist,
That's
right?
true.
They're paying for the licensing and doing it right. So I think if anybody does it, it'll be Synth Riders.
Yeah, well, we need to support these kind of things, right? Otherwise, we don't get the good music and it costs money. So,
Yeah, dude. Could you imagine a Slayer pack? Talk about an exercise.
yeah, yeah. And seeing Blamcrotch is he said the same thing. That's exactly what I thought. He said he got a claim on his Beat Saber video. They just claimed the monetization. It's the same thing. I kind of think it's a good. I mean, it's not a good thing, but it could be. This is the way I look at it. If they're pushing ads for somebody on there, if somebody's making money, they're going to push that video better than they're going to push it for me. I guarantee you, somebody's getting a push on it. So it can
Right.
be a good thing if you look at it from that perspective. But I just try to not make a habit of it. But I guess we can't help it on Beat Saber. So
There you go.
yeah,
Anyway, another recommend here, guys. Synth Riders on sale on Steam for $16, and um, if you have Viport Infinity, absolutely free. The base game, of course, you'll have to purchase the DLC, but the base game is included with Viport Infinity. So
yeah,
if you haven't checked it out and you have Infinity, you should go check it out.
definitely.
Infinity getting better all the time. Got some information shared with me from our Viport guy a couple of days ago. They've got some awesome stuff coming down the line that we can't share quite just yet, but Infinity going to be keeping up the trend of awesome releases. And we've recognized on the news show a couple of times over the last 6 months or so that you know Viport doing some developer friendly things. At Christmas time, they let the developers have all of the revenue that was generated during that period, if you'll remember. And then here, like a month, 6 weeks ago, they changed the revenue split to give developers a bigger share.
Oh,
I don't know if you
nice.
remember that story. But talking to our Viport guy, he said that basically every penny that they're making right now from subscriptions, they're putting it right back into acquiring more games and 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 basically he's saying that every bit of the profit is going to developers in one way or the other, whether it be through them taking uh, a share from people playing their game, or whether it be on Viport's end of the profit, using that to acquire new studios and new games to bring into Infinity. They said that 100% of the proceeds from subscriptions go to developers, which is
Wow,
that's awesome.
that is awesome. Well, it's just good. It's ensuring that it's going to be the best or best deal in VR, right? So as far as
Yeah, well,
gaming wise,
they're in a growth phase right now. They're trying to build something here, and it's smart how they're going about it. And you can see the results when you look at the catalog, man. I mean, that catalog ain't no joke. Some of the best games, a lot of the best games in VR available for that, was it $9 a month?
not only that, but I've said it several times just in the last couple times we've talked about it. My biggest thing is there's so many games that I would never ever try if it wasn't for Viveport Infinity that I've tried that I've really liked. You know what I mean? It gives me that freedom to try things that I just like I'm on the fence about, and then I find out, and then if I really want to own it, I mean, it's not like I can't buy it from, if I want. And I look at things differently this way too, Wes, because sometimes I buy games 2, 3 times. You as well. Um, it's good for developers, right? It's good to buy the game a couple of times. I'm not saying everybody go out and buy 3 copies of something, but if you have money to burn, why not? Go buy 7 copies of Saints and Sinners and give them away. That's what I say.
Yeah, you should do that. And then people won't hit you up on Discord when they claim them or don't claim them.
Yeah.
No, man, I think it's awesome what Infinity's doing. And it's not just all games, as we mentioned. I mean, they have the experiences on there. They just got that new one, Arden's Wake, that just released a few weeks ago. That's available on Infinity now, and then there's that Lost Horizon Festival that the general public have to pay $20 to get tickets to. Not Viport users, you can get your free tickets just by requesting a promo code. So,
Yeah, that's really cool.
yep. Anyway, let's get on with game of the month, Roots. We've got quite the dilemma on our hands here with what we're going to pick. Something tells me we're going to be picking some runners up this time around.
We have.
Uh, but as usual, we're going to start with the platform that has the least to offer, and that platform this month was PlayStation VR. Only one notable release for PlayStation VR, from what I could tell. Um, you know, they used to have the PlayStation Plus store set up, or the PlayStation store set up where you could just see the games in order that they were launched, but you can't do that anymore. So I basically had to do a little legwork to try to find out if there were some other PSVR releases that were notable, and I didn't see any. Only Doom 3 VR edition. That was the only VR game that I saw come out for PlayStation VR. So to be quite honest, with this being the game, it really doesn't matter that there were no others that I could find. They're realistically, I mean, what's going to beat this game anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, why, Wes? Why in the hell does PlayStation have their store set up that way? Why would it? It's kind of like the way the Quest has store has some weirdness to it. Like, wouldn't you want people to find your shit? Like, make it as easy as you can. Make it as streamlined. This is everything that came out this week. I, People are lazy. People have no attention span, and you're expecting them to go do what you just did. And you were doing it because you needed to do it for the show. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't have even done it yourself. It's just weird to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why they did it. No, I don't think pretty much anyone likes the new setup of the PlayStation Store. I mean, it looks nice, it's pretty, but in terms of function, it doesn't work as good as the older one did.
Yeah, I don't like it. So, but I do agree with you on Doom. I think that I can't imagine any other game that could have came out that would have beat this, even in the blurry state it had on release. Which I don't know, has it patched yet or no? Or do you know?
No, there's no patch, and it's not. It really isn't that blurry, man. I know
Okay.
people say that it is, but it's really not. And they have found a workaround for the scaling issues in it now. So,
Oh, cool.
um, I mean that's not even an issue anymore. So, uh, it's a great game. Aim controller plays great with it, and Rich, it's only $20. This is what we were talking about earlier. With why does $25 seem like a lot? Well, it's because you can get Doom 3 for 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy. It's a good deal.
And this game's longer than 4 hours. So
Yeah,
even though I don't think that this is
it's not. I thought it
this
was. Yeah. Well, it's Doom VFR though. It's close. It's super
uh,
close. You know
yeah,
what's?
well,
Yeah,
I like Doom VFR though.
and it's good.
So it's a good game. So here we go. This is it.
This is
This is
it.
the one.
Yeah. Actually, this does look a
But
lot better than Doom VFR. I'm not lying.
it's I don't know, man. It's different. It's different than Doom VFR. It's just a lot slower paced. It's more of a horror game. We'll say that.
Yeah, for sure.
I like them both for different reasons.
Yeah, you can't. Don't make you pick one, right? You don't want the other to feel bad.
That's right. I love all my children the same.
Yep, everyone.
Blamcrotch, I actually tried the Into the Radius before the DLSS patch. Still looked and ran great. Yeah, man, they've done a great job with Into the Radius.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's move on to some categories that do have some real competition going on. Let's talk about Oculus Quest for a moment. Um, I think you said it at the top of the show, Roots. We have real problems here because there are some fairly popular games in these categories that we haven't played. Now, this isn't uncommon for us. We don't limit the game of the month to games that we've played. Uh, the games that we haven't played, we generally rely on what the community thinks about them and what the review community has said about them. How well did they review? How well received were they? And how well did our community receive them? So it's not that big of a problem that we haven't played every game here. Um, and again, we're not just going to pick our favorite game every time. If there are other games that other people play that really went over really well.
Yeah, and sometimes we don't even know about. Like, I didn't even know Crashland existed in the month that came out in February. It would have won, in my opinion. I don't know what else was out there, but you know.
Yeah, I don't even remember what we picked, but yeah, I think that I was thinking about that earlier today. Like we probably undersold Crashland last month because I hadn't played it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know until I saw the rave reviews. So,
But anyway, let's start with the Climb 2. You talk about that 25% off coupon Roots.
mm,
I got to think that the Climb 2 might be one of my front runners for it because it's a $30 game, which means you're going to get a real discount on it. 750 off of this game with that coupon code. So 22.50 for it. It doesn't sound like such a bad deal anymore. Um,
I'm only torn because
yeah,
I don't know if I want to if I care about playing through it because I feel like I've played the first one. I don't know. Have you heard much about it in general or no?
people liked it. People said it was good. They didn't go crazy over it. I mean, solid. I would say most people would say it's a 4 out of 5 title. It's a high quality climbing title, but at the end of the day, it's not 2016 anymore, and it is just a climbing title.
Yeah, well, and that was my thing. I did enjoy the first climb, and I paid $40 for it, I think. But I don't know. Inside, I didn't even consider this game for the 25% off. But you're right, that is a good deal. Might have to think about it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's this. There's like Red Matter. I've been considering because I've wanted to check that out in the Quest since they launched it. Basically, both for the same reasons because they're supposed to be absolutely stunning on Quest 2, but the climb, you can't get this one on PC. Like it's a Quest exclusive, at
You know,
least for now.
yeah, I was gonna say I would imagine eventually it'll come to, but I don't know. Rift S just officially died, so
Onakazi says it's more climb. It's good. It's not groundbreaking. I'm sure it is going over better with newer users. Right. So yeah, so there you have it. Yeah, it's just more of the climb, right? But with some different
environments.
landscapes, some urban environments, some cool stuff, man. I like to have vertigo in VR. I like to feel like I'm in a high up place, and people say that this one's pretty good for that.
Yeah, well, I know the first one made me feel. I didn't think I was this is no big deal or whatever. I'm not scared or whatever. But I noticed at one point I was gripping my controllers really tight. It's like, okay, obviously something's going on in my brain that because I just like I'm like, man, why am I your feet are a little tense, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
So then we move on to the next title, which is one that we did play. Flow Weaver from Stitch Media. This released on the 11th of March for $20. Roots, I really enjoyed this game. I thought it was a clever take on escape the room puzzle game. Um, Story driven with good voice acting, beautiful environments. Really impressed with the standalone version of this game. I thought it looked beautiful. It looked like the Wizard's Dark Times almost. Like it was so detailed on the standalone, it was unbelievable. Only $20 for it, and in my opinion, probably a better game than the puzzle game we reviewed today. I like Flow Weaver a bit more.
Yeah, it was definitely good. I really enjoyed this one. It was definitely made you think outside the box. I like the way that you moved through the rooms or the between worlds. Although having to come back to this main area irritated both of us. I don't like to be told what to do, Wes. Like it's my gameplay. If I want to go here, I'm gonna go there. And then the game says, no, you're gonna go back to this main area, and then you're gonna go to that place. But yeah, I definitely agree. It's definitely a good game.
Yeah, playing a little deeper into it, I see why they do that. It's a bit unnecessary at first, but there are parts in the game where you have to go back into that original room. So they're kind of saving you some trouble by making you do it.
I gotcha. But it's kind of similar to that, like you said, that other puzzle game, right? In a sense, the floor plan. You're grabbing stuff, moving it from one room to the next. So it's got the same type of gameplay loop in a sense. But yeah, this was really cool, and they stole my wine, Wes. And now you're making
Yeah,
me want to
it's
go back and
actually
play this.
it actually yeah the puzzle solving in this game is very similar to the concepts in floor plan. Um, Although this is a bit more grown up, I would say it's a
Right.
bit more um, adult themed and story driven.
Yep. Absolutely.
And then we move on to an App Lab title. And I was kind of wondering if maybe we should have a separate App Lab category, but I don't think so. App Lab uh, titles are Quest titles, and we should treat them as such. 1976, Back to Midway. Ivanovich Games came out on the 13th on Oculus App Lab for $15. Roots $15, an amazing deal for this.
Yeah, it's a really good deal. Really good game. And I agree. You could try to separate the stuff of the App Lab, but I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose. That's why App Lab was created to bring the games that are good enough. And like I said, when I found out this one was on App Lab, it dropped my jaw because, like, of all the games that it's just that to me, it should be on the main store, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. But really good game.
Yeah, man. An amazing game. And great on the Quest, too. Very little differences on the Quest from the other version of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes me want to play Operation Warcade on the Quest.
Well, you're going to get your wish at some point soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, another great release for Oculus Quest in March, and just halfway through the list here. I mean, that's already a great month. But then we get to Cosmodread from White Door Games, released on the 25th of March. Again, Roots, only $15.
Yeah, what a great! I mean, so that's the thing. $15, and how much gameplay you get out of this. And every time I play this, it's there's more. Like another. I peel back a layer of the onion, and I'm like, oh shit! There's that much more to this game. And I still feel like I'm scratching the surface, right? So
Every run vastly different than the last one. And the game, even now, some 2.5 weeks later, still getting better with every playthrough, right?
yeah, yeah. And this is one of the games that when people ask me what kind of, because I've seen this in the Mash's Oculus Quest 2 group a lot. Like, what's a really good Quest horror game? And I didn't think of this game as a horror game at first until I played several runs, and it creeps me out, bro. It's not it's definitely a good horror game. I like it better than Dread Halls, and Dread Halls is what I used to say to put people in. So back in the day, anyway.
Yeah, yeah. This is definitely better than Dread Halls. Yeah, easily. Onakazi says that $15 and cross buy. That's a good point.
Yeah, yeah. I own it on both of my Quest and Rift. I don't know. I like to play it on the Quest. There's really no difference, graphically. It doesn't seem to be. I guess there is because we said that the pulsing things on there, but just the mobility. It's really good.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Definitely. This is out of all of these titles, this one is probably the most underpriced one. Like they should have charged more for that. Doom 3 should have cost more on PlayStation VR, and Cosmo Dread should have cost more on Oculus Quest.
Yeah, but that just means that more people are going to buy it because it's that, I mean, that's what ends up
That's true.
happening. So,
That's true. Zombieland Headshot Fever from XR Games, 325.21 for $20. Roots, I wasn't that impressed with the reveal trailer for this. But what I have been impressed with are the reviews. Like people, I don't think I've seen a bad review on this game yet.
no, I mean, the reviews that I read that were bad on this were people complaining because they're not good at it. And they're like, like one guy was complaining because I guess when you get hit, if a zombie gets to you, it blinds you. Now they have tweaked some of the things with what people have complained. They said people were saying it's just like the blinding was too long, so they've nerfed it a little bit. But or they, for whatever reason, they just weren't shooting good, right? But everybody else is raving about the again what I was saying before, the gameplay, and just the mechanics and the way that especially for someone like you that's leaderboard oriented, it's just really cool. And I guess you double tap when you get a double tap on the zombie, it slows time down. And so there's actual mechanics like of how you shoot and what how you're doing it. And you want to do it as fast as you can. And so it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, man. The sleeper of the month, I would call this. This is the one that really surprised me the way that it's been received, and yeah, I look forward to checking it out and seeing what all the fuss is about.
Yeah, yeah. And what's the beauty of it? It's kind of like the crash land, when you play something that everybody says is good, and you're like, I don't see why it's so good, and you get in there and you're like, okay, now I see. And it's a perfect example of what we were saying on the Discord and in almost every show to Scion. The gameplay absolutely trumps the graphics. This game graphically doesn't look like the most phenomenal game, but you get in there and the gameplay loop is really good from what people say. So
Yeah, addictive, fast-paced, short gameplay sessions, just that arcade style shooter
yeah,
that's always fun in VR.
yeah, and that's another thing that it's funny because almost all of the people referenced the same games. Like it was always the House of the Dead and then something else. Like these two games, and they just to show you that's what to expect. It's kind of like, and that's exactly what they were aiming for. Is they wanted to put an arcade game in VR. And I'll tell you what, Wes, I loved arcade games. I used to go to the arcade all the time. So if you can make a game feel good as an arcade game in VR, like this one apparently did, it's good.
Yeah, yeah. So again, looking forward to checking it out. Um, yeah, I'll be interested to see what people in the chat have to say. If maybe they think that this should be one of the top two this month. I don't know.
Yeah, Time Crisis. Yeah, that's what it is. House of the Dead, Time Crisis. It was like every other review. Just think House of the
Yeah.
Dead, Time Crisis. So,
You know, technically, if you want to go through some friction to set it up, you can play House of the Dead 2 and 3 in VR um, by using the Dolphin VR emulator to play Wii games. And House of the Dead 2 and 3 came out on Wii.
oh, wow. Well, that's cool. It's pretty good,
Yep.
huh?
All right. So, at this point, uh, I'm thinking that, you know, probably Cosmo Dread should probably be the Oculus Quest game of the month. But then it occurred to me that there was another release routes. There was another one that fell from out of nowhere on the App Lab that's been on SideQuest, but the version on App Lab is not the version that's been on SideQuest. This is This is a full featured game where the App Lab version, or where the SideQuest version rather, was not. And we're talking about To the Top, from, of course, Electric Hat Games.
It's
This
not.
game came to Oculus Quest on the 23rd of March for $20. So my first question, Roots, this is a VR game that's been out for many years now and has been out on Oculus Quest via SideQuest for a year. Does this game belong as a nominee here, considering that it has been on SideQuest for so long?
See, my only problem is the oh, well, I mean, the devs they gave away the free game, right? If you owned it on SideQuest, and we say that last week that they got the free copy, so everybody's going to have this game. But the only thing that's different is the multiplayer. So is it? That's the thing. Is it an? I mean, it is a new version of it because it does include multiplayer. Um, so I don't know. I'm kind of torn. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are, that the vast majority of people who own Oculus Quest aren't sideloading. They're casuals, right? They don't have PCs. They're not PC savvy, and they've never been aware of To the Top before now. So that's kind of why I put it on here. But I'd like to know what the chat thinks. Should To the Top be considered as a possible game of the month, because it came to App Lab this month from SideQuest? Generally, I would say no, but again, uh, it did get the multiplayer functionality added into it, which is a big part of this game. What makes it good. So I want to know what the chat thinks here. Should we consider this? Because I'll just go out right ahead and say it now. To the Top is one of the best VR games ever. And if it's allowed on this list, then it is the game of the month. Okay? It is. Uh, but the question is, should it be allowed? I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm like 50-50. Yeah, Matt says App Lab games shouldn't count.
no App Lab games should count. Why not? I mean, they're Oculus Quest games. They're on the official, I mean, not on the official Quest store, but they go into your Quest library when you buy them. You could go onto the Quest store and search for them, and they'll come up. So I mean, these are Oculus Quest titles that are running on the Oculus SDK. So I mean, I got to disagree there. The App Lab games in general shouldn't be
It
disqualified.
would feel weird for me to exclude 1976, because that just feels weird, bro. Like that could definitely be
Yeah,
is worthy for sure.
I could see maybe making this argument with SideQuest, but even then, I'm not sure I would agree with it. But you could kind of make that argument for side loaded games. But App Lab games are not side loaded. You go onto the Oculus Quest store to buy these games. So
Onakazi
you
says
know,
this is a more of official release in his view, and yes, I could kind of see that too. Well, you got to consider though, even if it's on side quest, it doesn't mean it's going to make our list ever if it's a shit game. um so I
Trey
guess
VR said if so, Pavlov should count them. Yeah, I agree, but I think Pavlov was April, was it not?
Pavlov Shack. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
they just released that new, was it a new version of it?
they just brought it to App Lab.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
So give me just a moment here, and well, though I mean, technically, Pavlov is it's a demo. It's a beta.
It
It's
is
not a
true.
full.
It is
It's
going to
not a
be
full
24,
release.
it's going to be $25 when it comes out, bro.
Yeah,
So it's,
yeah. The Pavlov is not the full release, admittedly. So,
I don't think a side
um,
quest game has ever won game of the month at this point. I can't imagine one ever doing that either, but I mean, if, it just depends, I guess. I would imagine any good game is going to make it to App Lab, but we'll see.
I'm trying to find Pavlov Shack on the thing. That's the thing about these App Lab titles. They sure could make them a lot easier to find.
Yeah. Shaq has more downloads and wins, is what Trey VR says. Well, I'll tell you what. Although I have not tried Pavlov's Shack. I prefer the PC version. That makes no sense. I've never tried the Pavlov Shack, but I've heard it's not that good. It's
I'm
not compared
still
to the PC version anyway.
I'm still trying to get it up. I'm on the Quest store here.
Well,
I'm typing.
this is my problem. You know, you shouldn't have to. You should just click on App Labs and it just gives you a list of what's out or a side scrolly thing. You know, I mean, how many people are never going to know about To the Top because they didn't spell it right? I don't know how you spell that wrong, but um,
Yeah, it's not showing up in the Oculus Quest
hmm,
store even,
that's weird.
which is weird. Yeah. But I don't think it was a March release anyway. I think it was an April release. Let me consult my show notes. Maybe it's not out yet on App Lab. Maybe it's coming to App Lab.
I could have sworn that. Well, then, yeah, that I didn't check, so that's very true.
Give me just a second. I'll tell you for sure because we just reported on this Sunday. All right, Pavlov Shack beta now out on iPlab, free to play, no side loading required. Yeah, so this is an April release. That's a free beta is what it is. It's not the full version. The full version is going to cost $24 and be on the official Quest store.
And that's when it'll become viable for game of the month. Now, someone said Delirium Drew says, "Aren't there like 3 games releasing tomorrow?" And then Roots said one of the best games for Quest 2 is definitely dropping tomorrow.
Yeah. Swarm is releasing tomorrow. There was 2 tomorrow and 1 on Friday.
Yeah.
So Swarm was tomorrow. Give me just a second here. I'll tell you what the other one was. Oh, yeah, Traffic Jams.
Yeah.
Traffic Jams is tomorrow. And then on Friday, the Speedy Gun Salvage
Oh yeah.
on Steam,
Yeah.
which our friend PD got an early copy of the other day and played it on his channel.
Yeah, I saw that. Maddie Matt says Hand Physics Lab is also an April release.
That is true. Hand Physics Lab is an April release. We are doing Game of the Month for March, people. March.
Yeah, that's true. Well, April is here. So
Yeah, we will do April Game of the Month
in May.
at the beginning of May after April's finished.
Yeah.
Radio Runt says, "Wow, To the Top is awesome on Quest." What do you think, Radio Runt? Do we consider To the Top a entrant for Game of the Month on Quest? I'm leaning toward yeah. I think we kind of do have to do that because it's again this is the first time you've been able to get it on Quest without having a PC to sideload it from, and it's the official Quest release.
You
Like,
know, now that you're saying that, Wes, I kind of have to say that I don't think games that are side quest only should be on the list. And this is why. Like if I have to hook it up to a computer and all this weird shit, if I can't get it through the store, I just don't know that it should be on that list. You know what I mean? And that would immediately make To the Top viable because it hasn't truly released on the Quest until now through the App Lab, or in my opinion anyway.
well, I mean, we've never added one in, have we?
Mm-mm.
We've never actually decided to put a side quest title on the Game of the Month. Now, I don't want to just go ahead and make a hard and fast rule and use an absolute qualifier and say never
It would
because
have to be
maybe
an exception, yeah.
right. Maybe one day an extremely popular side quest game comes up and it causes a lot of people to get into side loading and people are just raving about how amazing this game is and maybe the developer don't want to be on the official Oculus store because they don't agree with Facebook politics and stuff like that. So I don't want to say never, but yeah, we've never seen one yet that deserves to be on the list.
Yeah, it would have to be something special. So
All right. So yeah, he says that's a hard call for the best Quest game for March. I don't think it's that hard of a call if we're talking about to the top. If it gets in, if it gets included, then I think it wins. If it doesn't get included, then it gets interesting.
But this is where what we said was going to happen was going to happen. We're going to have to runner up regardless of what we pick, right? Because it's been such a hard decision. There's got to be something that's runner up um, worthy, I would think.
Onikazi says, I guess it depends on what we are voting on. Is it what we think is the best game or what has the biggest impact in the zeitgeist? It's kind of a, we try to take both into consideration, Onikazi. Generally, um, we depend on the impact that it's made more when we haven't played it, if that makes any sense. Like these games like Zombieland and The Climb 2, we haven't played these games. So we're depending on what other people are saying about those games. With the other four, we have played them. Um, Now, what gets more weight? Uh, it just depends on how big of an impression these games have made upon us personally. Now, I will say that with the game of the month, we generally toward to give more weight to our personal favorites than we do at the end of the year when we do game of the year. When we do game of the year, we tend to let other people's voices and opinions have a little more weight than we do month to month.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's not just about what's our favorite game, but what kind of an impact a game has had on the VR landscape as a whole. So,
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things that goes into it, and that's pretty much most of it, right? So,
Matty Matt 2323 says you've convinced me. App Lab, yes. Side Quest, no.
yeah, I mean,
So yeah,
I can't imagine something being so good on side quest, but like you said, man, it could be something that's just revolutionary that everybody's talking about, right? So,
yeah. Delirium Juice says I'd vote. I My vote counts. I played a couple hours of Cosmo Dread. I think To the Top is better, even if it's not getting as much attention. It should have been basically been the best launch title on Quest. Yeah, I agree with that. It should have been on Oculus Quest, forever ago. Um, so yeah, this is an interesting one, Roots. I feel like we should include it, and I feel like it should be the game of the month. But I feel like uh, I don't think there's ever been a better example of when we should have a runner up honorable mention so that both titles get through to the game of the year conversation.
yeah, absolutely.
So for those of you who don't know why we do game of the month, that basically this is a nomination process. These are our nominees for game of the year. And we have a provision that we fall back on frequently when there's a close month or a close match between two. We'll pick two. We'll pick a winner and a runner up, and they'll both be considered in the game of the year discussion. And that way, it allows it allows us more time in these games because while it hasn't happened yet, the way we've got things structured here is it's technically possible for a game not to win game of the month, but still go on to be game of the year.
Yeah,
And I think that this is probably the best example I could think of of a case that we've ever had for picking two games here. And what's crazy is we're talking about leaving out. I think we're all pretty much in consensus here that it's To the Top and Cosmo Dread, right?
yeah,
These are the two.
that's what I would pick.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're talking about leaving out Zombieland. We're talking about leaving out 1976. We're talking about leaving out The Climb 2, and we're talking about leaving out Flow Weaver. How crazy is that?
That is crazy. You know, and Gorilla Tag, we left Gorilla Tag out of the mix as well. I don't know that it would have won, but it definitely was broken enough TVs. People love it. I got to get into it, Wes. Check it out. Trey VR throwing a fiver at us. Appreciate that
Yeah, thanks, Trey. That's
tremendously.
awesome.
Yeah, dude. Really appreciate it.
Matty Matt says Gorilla Tag was March. Yeah, no, Gorilla Tag was February, friend.
Oh yeah, because we actually people wanted to put it in the last, and Wes said Gorilla Tag is not making it on the list. I like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, we talked about Gorilla Tag during the February
We did.
game of the month. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We didn't choose it. I think didn't we choose it for like a runner up or something?
It might have been. I know people rave about it, so I would imagine
I
it's good.
I thought let me look at this real quick because I think we did choose it as the runner up, and we left some really good game out because everybody was so insistent
Hmm.
that Gorilla Tag get the runner up spot.
I wonder how many of the
So
people that were insistent are playing that Gorilla Tag now still.
I don't know. I don't know. That's the question. It almost went viral, but I think it's kind of cooling off a little bit now.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's free. You know? Who doesn't love free?
Virtual show game of the month, February 21. Here we go. This should be it. All right. Oh, of course, the version that I have in my notes here is not the version with the winners on it. Tell me that I didn't lose the freaking winners, and I'm gonna have to look it up again.
Well, you have to rewatch the episode, bro.
Yeah, that's what I had to do for the 2020 show.
No, you
watch
watched a
all the
lot of episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I put the updated thing in here. I think I put it on the Google Drive, but I think that's gone now.
Gorilla Tag was
Yeah.
side quest, but it came to App Lab on March 15th.
Well, there you go. I did not know that. I have it listed. I'm looking at the list. I had it listed as PCVR in February.
Oh yeah, that's right, because it was on PCVR, right?
Yeah, so here we have a late entry into it. Does anybody think that Gorilla Tag should be chosen over To the Top or Crashland? Now, let me specify Gorilla Tag on Oculus Quest. Okay? Not the PC version that everybody's been playing. Gorilla Tag on Oculus Quest. Does anyone here think that that should be chosen over To the Top or over Cosmo Dread?
I don't know. I need to get in and play this, man. Like they're climbing stuff. You got cheetah colors. Looks like it's pretty fast paced.
Yeah, people got into it for a good 2 weeks, but it's really cooled off a lot since then.
Yeah, it was free, bro. Like everybody loves free. I know I do.
Yeah, well, yeah, we do a whole half an hour on our show every week because of free stuff and killer deals.
Yeah.
Matty Matt says I vote no. Yeah, that's what I vote as well.
All right.
Having not played it.
So we got To the Top and Cosmo Dread as a runner up, or as a honorable mention.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go, and that's the way I'm going to call it, and I'm going to write it down, and hopefully I save it this time.
Honorable mention, Gorilla Tag. Oh, and no, that was last time.
Yeah, I think Gorilla Tag got the runner up for PCVR last month.
Yeah, maybe it makes it to the game of the year. What do you think?
It could. I mean, if it really gets hot, I mean, it could.
To the Top is on the top. Cosmo Dread is underneath, second.
So we're gonna To the Top, the winner.
And we're back. And Ruuts isn't cursing. Oh, that was a long time ago. That only happened one time. I don't know why everyone always brings that up.
Are we back now for real? Are we streaming?
We are.
All right. Awesome. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes with computers, shit happens. And yeah.
Think about this though. It's never happened, dude. That a whole time in 2 years, bro. That's pretty good.
So all we're doing here is streaming, right? Roots, tell the people the specs of your computer.
8700K.
Awesome.
Yeah, 30 or 2080. I wish I had a 3080. And then
2080.
yeah,
2080. And what kind of RAM you got going on?
like 30. I don't know. 40, actually 40 something gigs. I don't know, some weird number, 49 or something. I don't know.
So Roots has a ton of fast RAM, a fast graphics card, and a smoking CPU.
And
And we're
600 megabytes per second download and like 20 up or something. So it's ridiculous.
it's got a crazy internet connection, and all we're doing is streaming. And still, yet every now and then, shit happens.
Yeah.
This is a perfect example of why sometimes I just don't want a game on my PC because my PlayStation never just fucking crashes for no reason. My Oculus Quest just never does that. I just put it on and I play, and I don't have to tweak settings, and shit don't just not work ever.
That's
So
crazy, right?
I just wanted to take this opportunity to share this point of view and point it out that sometimes shit just don't work because it's PC, right? So that's just how it is.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of stuff having to work together, right? So
Yeah.
conflict.
So let's move on to PCVR. Just as interesting a conversation coming up for for this category as the last. And in case it got cut off, we did indeed choose To the Top as the game of the month, and Cosmo Dread as the runner-up slash honorable mention. So both titles will be in the discussion for Game of the Year for Oculus Quest. So
Yep.
now PCVR it gets interesting now in the context of our conversation we just had for Oculus Quest. PCVR just gets real interesting because people were calling to question the legitimacy of a game if it's not in full release yet, right?
Mm,
Which then puts puts early access games into a different light. I would imagine we've always accepted when a game comes into Steam early access that it's eligible for game of the month right then, because some of these games come into early access and they never leave. Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades just celebrated its 5th anniversary, and that game is still in early access.
mm.
So we've always just kind of taken, PC early access releases on Steam as just, a game of the month contender. And that brings us to our first game, Z Race from Zocus. Came out on the 2nd of March. Again, Roots, only $15 for this game.
What a good game too for $15. Unique, right? I know they're adding the cockpit mode and everything, but I think what's kind of cool about it is the way that you move, right? With your hand. It's unique, it's different. And you get to bring in your favorite streamers. Well, most of them anyway. You get to bring in some of your favorite streamers like Gamertag um and BMF and Paradise Decay. I mean Anthony. I mean who doesn't want to ride with Anthony? Have him tell you to chip in his paint, brah. I don't even. What did he say? Did you play his ship yet?
No, I haven't played this game yet, and I got to
What?
apologize for that. Eric, who bought me this game, and I still haven't jumped into it yet. I need to.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely a cool game. Definitely unique, and I'm waiting for the day that I can race my actual friends instead of their name. It's cool to see people and see their names and you're kind of competing with them, but it's nothing like real time racing, which is coming. So
Now, this is the true definition of an early access title, and big update getting ready to hit this one like any time now. So it's an interesting prospect because what if this game gets a lot better like we think it's going to, and then comes into full release 6 months down the line? Then what? I mean, is it not going to be a game of the month because it wasn't as good as other titles were as when it first hit early access?
well, that's the problem, right? It's a conundrum because there's got to be some limit because then any game can be, pulled out of the hat. Even though it's 5 years old, all of a sudden, Horseshoes comes out of release, are we really going to pick it for game of the month? As it would
Yeah,
be weird.
that's right. So I think that there has to be a different standard for PCVR when we're talking about this sort of thing versus the whole side quest app lab thing we just talked about. It's different on Steam, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it is a little bit different. That's kind of weird, but I mean, we do a pretty good job of. I mean, I think just picking if it comes out, if it's released. Um, it's not really fair to say, okay, well, this one's not fleshed out, so we're gonna hold it off down the road for I don't know. It's kind of weird. It starts to get
And then
bizarre.
you have games like Into the Radius, which I didn't want to play it in its early access state. It was so janky and broken that I didn't even want to play it. But by the time it hit full release, it was a whole new game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's true. And it kind of got
So I
hosed.
think, yeah. So I think that we kind of in this situation, I think we should consider them when they hit early access, but I think we should reserve the administrative privilege to revisit them if we feel that the game has been improved on a drastic level, on a fundamental level. This is a different game. Then I think that we should reconsider it when it officially releases.
Yeah, I could see that. I agree with that.
All right. So Z Race, our first title. The second title is a title that we're completely depending upon the words of others. Stargaze came from Studio Played with Fire on the 4th of March. Again, $20. And I don't know, man. I think that this is a pretty good game, but I don't think a whole lot of people played it.
Is this on Five Port Infinity? I don't
I
know.
do believe it is.
Yeah, we should check it out because I was kind of curious about this one when it came out. Maybe be something to check out. I haven't heard much about it, um, but it I always thought it looked cool. So
Yeah, I think the people that played it liked it. I just don't think very many people played it yet.
it looks bizarre. Radio Run says Horseshoes. I own it, and I don't understand how to play that game. I don't own it, and I've seen people say that. Somebody in the Discord posted videos, like a whole like list of videos that you needed to watch to figure out how to play, and I was noped out after that. If I got to watch videos for 7 hours to figure out how to play the game, I'm out, done.
I agree with that. That falls in the line of that friction that we were talking about earlier. It's just another form of it.
Yeah,
All right. So Stargaze, I thought was a solid enough title to deserve a mention on here. But, the next title, another one we're going to depend on other people's opinions of, but we have a lot more opinions to deal with when it comes to warplanes, World War One fighters. This came from HomeNet Games on the 11th of March, 2021. Again, Roots, $15.
yeah, it's a good deal. I don't know. Everybody that I know that's played this game, Paradise Decay, Traveling Man is raving about it. Whoever gave us the key was saying it was a good game. I've had several people tell me I need to play this. We've got it in the library. I just haven't played it yet. But we definitely need to get into this one.
Yeah, everyone says this is great. Everyone. And it's got multiplayer in it that's super fun too. So yeah, man. Like I felt like this was a definitely worthy nominee for Game of the Month.
Yeah, absolutely. And Scion says maybe we could pick a couple wild card games like Into the Radius type of games at the end of the year to throw into the hat.
Well, when we're talking about Game of the Year, we're talking about the best of the best games. Now, that said, what did we give away, Roots? Like 40 or 50 different awards last year, Into the Radius being in the mix for a few of them. And I think it even won one or two, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I think it won for the reward for best post launch support or something like that. I don't remember exactly which one it was. I think they won a developer award.
I just want to know when Into the Radius 2 is coming. Tell me that, Scion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'll probably be out tomorrow, but it won't be any good for till like the end of next
Yeah,
year.
they're going to take about 2 years to tweak it, and it's going to be amazing.
Right. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of what our runner ups are for, Scion and our other categories. We try to make sure. Generally, when we make up these categories at the end of the year for the award show, we're basically trying to mention all of the games that we feel deserve mentioning. So we'll make our categories around the games rather than make the categories and then pick winners. You know what I mean? We we try to make the categories so that all the good games win something.
Right.
So, um, all right. So we have three more PCVR releases other than Z Race, Stargaze, and Warplanes. But these are all titles that we talked about for Oculus Quest. These are cross platform launches. So, of course, Flow Weaver, Stitch Media, 311, $20. We've already talked about it. A great puzzle game. Cosmo Dread, White Door Games on the 25th, $15, cross buy title. Awesome. And Zombieland, Headshot Fever, XR Games, 25th, $20. Um, I think the only question here, Roots, is do we do a runner up or is it just one winner? I think we all know who the winner is. Am I wrong?
Are you thinking warplanes? No, we're
Oh,
thinking.
I am not thinking Warplanes.
Well, Traveling Man says he votes warplanes for game of the year so far. Game of the year. We're talking month.
Really?
I think he meant
Game
month.
of the year.
But so which one were you thinking?
Cosmo Dread, bro. It was the best game that came out last month. The best new game that we got last month
Yeah, it's
was
definitely.
Cosmo Dread.
Yeah, if we're picking two, that's definitely one of them. If not the one. And see, that's
The
where everything
question
else.
is, is Warplanes or Flow Weaver or Z Race or Zombieland close enough to Cosmo Dread to warrant the being taken into the Game of the Year discussion?
I would say, well, end of the year. I mean, that's a completely different thing. Because a lot of these things we end up making it when you go up again. Like, say for instance, PlayStation. Doesn't matter what comes out, it's going to be hard to press go up against Hitman, right? Hitman 3. But I would say from what I've read and what people have said and respected people that I've said, I would say Zombieland would be up there over would be close just because of the mechanics and the way people raved about it. But I don't see that's the thing. I've never played it, but it's the amount of just how much people loved it, right? When they reviewed it. Um so
Yeah, but still, even still, it wasn't like there was a lot of people. I mean, the people that played it loved it. Yeah. How
I'm
many
just talking
people
about
played it?
the reviews. I've gone to the reviews on Oculus and read them several times because I've been on the fence of doing it. But that as far as those reviews is what I'm talking about. But I don't know. Hey, gamer
Yeah, gamer
tag,
tag.
perfect
Shut
person. We're
up.
talking. We need some advice, man. I was just telling Wes how much you love this game, and we haven't played it yet. We haven't had a chance to check it out.
Yeah, so we're trying to determine GT, and I'm not gonna ask you. I'm not gonna put you on the spot here and make things awkward for you. But we're trying to pick the PCVR games of the month. I think we're all pretty much in agreement that it's Cosmo Dread. Cosmo Dread was the the game that I played that I liked the best, and it was the most popular in the community overall. I think that's pretty clear. Now the question is there another game that was close enough to it that deserves to be recognized as the runner up? And what that means is when we talk about game of the year later, we'll talk about both games instead of just Cosmo Dread. Root says that Zombieland was so well received that it might be in the conversation. I would say the same thing about Warplanes, World War One fighters. People really enjoyed that one, but I don't know. I don't know if either of them were really that close to Cosmo Dread. So that's what we're kind of trying to call on people for here, to see what people think. So anyone who is in the chat who wants to chime in on this one, whether it be for Zombieland or Warplanes, feel free. And again, GT, you don't have to comment. I understand there's a conflict of interest here for you.
Yeah. Well, my thing is I haven't played either one of them, and I need to. I need to. I have no excuse for Warplanes. I just need to get into it.
Yeah, we kind of have to with that one. We took the key for it under the pretense that we needed to play it. So.
Well, and I want to play it. I don't. I just haven't had a chance to.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel bad, GT, that we haven't played this game yet. You said it was good, so we're gonna end up overlooking it, Roots, and then coming back a month from now and saying, "Man, it's so good. How did we miss it?"
Yeah.
Like Crashland, right? Where we overlooked it when it came out and then played it later and found out, oh, this probably should have been game of the month.
Absolutely, that's one of the ones. Radio Runt and Mepper both don't do zombie or horror games, but Radio Runt will do spiders though, big ones.
Radio Rent needs to play Crashland.
You do need to play Crashland, Radio Runt. It's your jam, bro, and you don't even know it. It's good.
All right, I don't. I see Traveling Man. He's really the only one from the chat who's speaking up on the matter. What do you think, Roots? Do you think Zombieland should be, or Warplanes should be a runner up?
I I I would say that one of them could be, maybe just be from the way people, received them. And it's a runner up. It can't hurt to have a runner up, right? I mean, the worst that happens, it just doesn't win. you know. So
GT says it's tough. Zombieland is a fast-paced arcade game. You have fun over short periods of time. Cosmo Dread was on my mind all the time until I finished it. Warplanes is incredible. It again, I don't. Okay, I think
he probably ran out of words. Um,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, dude, you just blew me away. You finished Cosmo Dread? What the hell, man? I can't imagine finishing that game. Although Wes said once you get to a certain point, it'll probably go fast. But
All right, he says Warplanes is incredible, but he doesn't see him consuming him the way that Cosmo Dread did. Although Zombieland has more stuff coming soon. So that kind of goes back to what we were talking about before. We can revisit this later, but I think Zombieland. I don't think it's early access. I think it's a full release.
yeah, I think this is it. You get what you get.
All right, I don't know, man. I defer to you. I'll give you the call to you here. Really, the only thing I'm passionate about is that Cosmo Dread is number one. I like these other games. I like Flow Weaver, but these other games I haven't played, so I don't know.
If I was gonna go by just from what I've seen, I would have to go with Zombieland just because people say it's the mechanics, it's the once you get into the rhythm of it. I don't know. I need to play it though, Wes. That's my problem. And but I would.
Yeah, there's strategery behind it, right? Like
Right.
kind of like Crashland, but not in the way that Crashland does it, right? Crashland's a wave shooter, but there's a lot of strategy involved with it. And Zombieland is supposedly like that as well, because you're using certain, sequences and attacks which affect the flow of time, and it's a time based game. So there's strategy in the how you approach each level. So again, not just a basic wave shooter.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. And it's all about shaving those seconds off, bro, which is right up Wes's alley, man. You go give him a reason to go back in and do it one more time and do it better, right? On the leaderboards.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, somebody's going to talk shit and then go beat my scores like that in a shooter game. If it's one thing when it's a rhythm game, okay, all right. So great, you're a better dancer than me. But when you go into a shooter that I love, and then take my score and then let's say something about it? Nah, bro.
That's
Nah,
what.
that ain't happening.
That's why I said when I said in the Discord, oh, that's a good way to get Wes in there. Like just threw the gauntlet down, bro.
All right, so I'm gonna defer to you on this one. We'll call Zombieland Headshot Fever the runner up, and what that'll do. Gamertag says that there's additions coming to the game. This will keep it alive in the conversation of game of the year, and if it becomes this amazing game between now and December, it'll at least be in the conversation based on Roots deciding that we should bring it along.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna be going into Warplanes this weekend because I have to check that out. I've been meaning to get into it since we got it. So
Yeah, dude. And again, that one just came to Infinity as well, so we could all multiplayer that one up.
isn't that on Quest as well, or App Lab or something, or is it coming to
I,
App Lab? I could have sworn I
I
saw it.
think it is. I think it's on App Lab or Side Quest or one of those
Yeah, so you can play it on
deals.
Quest as well. So
Yep. So we're gonna give the gold to Cosmo Dread. We're gonna give the silver to Zombieland. One of these days we're gonna give out a bronze Roots, but I think that if we start that, it's a dangerous precedent because if there was ever a month to give out three, it would be this month, wouldn't it?
well, and like you said, or we talked about in the show earlier, we at that point we might as well just start giving participation trophies. Everybody wins. You know, we don't want to offend anybody.
And then okay, I'll go ahead and give the gold medal to Doom 3 on PlayStation because it was the only one that showed up.
Yeah, that's it. Traveling Man says it is on App Lab, so that's good. That definitely could have been in the list for the discussion for Quest as well. Although I still think it would have gone
Yeah,
to
I don't think it wouldn't have changed anything.
no. Well, you nailed it. You're like to the top is it, bro. Oh, it's on Steam as well, from Gamertag says. So I definitely it's getting good. People are really raving about that one as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so again, just to recap at the end of it here, for March Game of the Month, which again, the whole purpose of Game of the Month, this is a nomination process for Game of the Year. It's the only reason we do it. We're taking down these winners and these runner ups. So at the end of the year, when we do the 2021 show, Roots and I will meet in big screen like we always do with our patrons and we'll look at who won each month and who were the runners up, and we'll start with a big list and we'll narrow it down more and more and more until we get to what the game of the year is. So
Yeah.
again, this month, PlayStation VR game of the month, Doom 3 VR edition for Marky Act, $20. Oculus Quest game of the month, and I'd be interested to get your opinion on this, GT. We decided to go ahead and call To the Top the game of the month for Oculus Quest because it came to App Lab this month. It's a new version of the game. It's the first time you've ever been able to play the game on Quest without having a PC inside loading it. So we decided to allow To the Top in as a nomination, and it's the best game of the list. So To the Top we called the game of the month for Oculus Quest. Cosmo Dread we gave the runner up, and then on PCVR, Cosmo Dread was the game of the month, and Zombieland Headshot Fever runner up. So there we have a hotly contested month. I feel like the fifth place game in both of these categories could have easily been the game of the month. It was really, we had that many good VR releases in March. And you know what, dude? April's going to be better. April's going to be better.
I know.
It's nuts. It's crazy.
Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow, Swarm, guys. Get ready for it.
Gamertech says I played To the Top last night, actually. Yeah, man, I picked it up on Quest last week. And I played it like the day before yesterday. And it was awesome, dude. It's still one of the best games in VR, and I think people have kind of forgotten about it, just how good it is.
Yeah. Oh, not the Quest users. Now they're getting to play it and not have to sideload it. So
Well, we need to make our video on it because it's not the easiest thing to find. Even if you go looking for it, like you type it into the search word for word, the the drop down that comes up doesn't list it. You have to hit enter on the search button, and then the search results come up, and you don't see it on there. Like you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and it says one App Lab result. You don't even see the thumbnail for it. You have to click on that one App Lab result, and then it'll put you through to the game page. It really it could be better how they're treating these App Lab games.
yeah, yeah, it's like they don't want them found. It's weird.
Anyway, I think that's going to wrap up our show. I want to thank you all for stopping by again. Our late night crew showing up right at the
Butt crack of
you know
dawn.
the stroke of midnight as we got started, and another great group, another great episode, another good time. So thanks for dropping by, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click that bell as we have tons of awesome content coming. As early as tomorrow, Roots, there might just be a video dropping on this channel detailing some awesome game that might be releasing tomorrow.
Yeah, there might be a good game coming out tomorrow that's amazing.
Possibly.
Possibly.
I hear a guy told me that there
The
might be a good game out tomorrow.
rumor floating around out there.
But yeah, so be sure that you subscribe to the channel, click the bell. If you like the video, click the thumbs up. If you didn't like it, still click the thumbs up. So be sure to leave a comment down below to help us in the fight against the evil algorithm. He's ravaged our land. The only way that we can possibly survive is with your comments. So just leave those down below. If you guys want to win a game, go watch Virtual Strangers 100 and leave a comment on that one saying you want to enter the drawing. Still plenty of awesome games to give away. Not really many people entering this one. So if you enter, very likely you're going to win. So
yeah.
go enter that. Go check that episode out too. It was a really good one.
Yeah. Join the Discord if you haven't already because we miss you. We want you to come home, right?
Yeah, man. You guys, you might feel a bit transient, like a bit of a gypsy in the VR landscape. Like you don't have a place where you can hang your hat. Well, I'm here to tell you that you do have a place, and that place is the Virtual Strangers Discord. All you need to get inside, like a vampire, is an invitation, and vampires are welcome, and the invitation's in the description. Come on home.
Yeah, come home, please. We miss you.
Yeah, just take your shoes off at the door, and if you're playing on PlayStation, don't talk to the PC guys. Like
yeah.
you don't want to hear it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Anyway, oh, of course. How could we forget? If you've been a long time subscriber, if you've been at home for, since the onset, since we started paying rent, uh, but you've been freeloading, right? You want to pitch in on the rent? You can do so by supporting us on Patreon, where for as little as $3 per month, you will gain access to our weekly show notes, updates from behind the scenes, as well as the always awesome money show, which we're gonna have to do one like now, dude. Like we said we were gonna do one a few days ago, but
Didn't
as
end up
usual, it didn't
happening.
happen. Yeah, but we've got good topics and we've got a good game lined up, so we just need to get in there and do
Maybe
it.
I can get off work when I get off work before you go to work. And Delirium Drew has a good idea. I think we should do, and maybe it won't happen this week, but he suggests that we read a previous comment from the previous show, and or like you know what I mean, like a bit at
Yeah,
the end of the show. You a showcased comment, the best comment of the
like
day.
a mailbag type thing. Well, we certainly could do that.
Yeah, I like it.
If that's something you guys would like, I don't mind to respond. We respond to the comments most of the time anyway. So,
Yeah, well,
yeah,
that
yeah.
way
Well,
that way people want to make it. They want to put out a good comment. They want to be picked, bro. You know, it's a
So
good idea.
yeah, we'll start looking at that. Yeah, if there's a good comment, something that we feel would spark a good discussion, we'll absolutely read it on the air. Good
Yep.
call, Drew.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. I guess that's it. And with that said, friends, we'd like to thank you all once again for watching. For Ruuts, I'm Wes. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Take it easy.